Hello, folks. Welcome to Ram's Music Tech. Today, let me show you how we can do automation on an instrument plugin. For this example, I've used hybrid. So we got a hybrid track here with just one C3 note running for 4 bars on a acid arpeggio patch. So this is how it sounds. Right. So that's the arpeggio patch. Now we want to do some automation on this. So let's get going. Firstly, open the inspector so we can have a look at parameters. I mean, we won't be doing much on the parameters here except one particular area, which is the channel editor. I'll come to that. Firstly, let's look at which parameters we want to automate. So let's say we just want to automate 2 parameters, okay? One is this one, which is the cutoff of part A, and then you have part B, and it's also got a cutoff. So let's try automating both of these simultaneously with one knob of the MIDI controller. So I'm going to be using one knob of my Nectar LX25 MIDI controller to control both the cutoffs simultaneously, and with the cutoff of part B running in the inverted direction. That means when I turn my knob from the minimum to maximum, the cutoff for part A will go from minimum to maximum, but the cutoff for part B will go from maximum to minimum. So that's what we need to look at. So firstly, what we need to do, watch carefully. Now we got on this top, just if you look at my mouse, we've got the parameter and control here. So first we need to just touch the cutoff of part A. So you can see part A cutoff appearing here. All right. And then what we do is, you can see the small hand to the left of the description part A cutoff. Hold that hand and drag it onto the track. That's it. That's the first step. And then we go to part B. Do the same thing for this cutoff of part B. Just touch it. You can see part B cutoff here. Hold the hand, drag it over the track. That's it. Now for the time being, let's close the instrument interface, close the automation, and here if you see just to the bottom left of the track, there's a small button which says expand envelopes. So click that to expand, and there you can see the part A cutoff and part B cutoff. The reason is we've actually assigned them to the track, so they are here. So let's pull these down a little bit. There you go. Now, next what we need to do is, we need to assign the control for these 2 cutoffs to, I want to assign it to one knob of my MIDI controller, both of them to one knob, and then as I said, the part B in the inverted direction. So for this, what we need to do is we need to do a couple of steps. First, let's click this. Now, if you watch my mouse carefully, you need to click this channel editor in the inspector. It opens the knobs that are available for this track. All right. So firstly, what we do is we open this settings just to the left of the controller name. Okay. So I've selected my Impact LX as my controller, and you can see there's an edit mapping button here. So you need to open that. Okay. So first I click the first knob. So you got knob 1. Okay. And then I move the controller that I'm going to use, the knob that I'm going to use on my MIDI controller. Okay, there you go. So when I move that, you can see now that's appeared there as control 1. That's control 1 of my Impact LX25 Plus, as you can see. So now I'm actually rotating this, and you can see how the values are going up and down. Now, and if you can see, there is a left arrow in between these two, this thing. Just click that. So what happens, and it turns into blue. What then happens is this knob of my Impact LX25 control is controlling the knob 1 on the channel editor of this track. So now, watch carefully. Now I'm going to move my LX25 knob on my MIDI controller, and there you go. You can see how the knob 1 of this track is now moving. Next, what we need to do, we need to assign these two parameters, part A cutoff and part B cutoff, of our instrument hybrid to this knob. That is the knob 1 of this channel macro. That's actually the channel macro knob 1. So for that, what you need to do is very simple, drag and drop again. You see this wrench icon at the top, just above here. It says macro controls mapping. Just click that open. So now you have knob 1 selected. So you got all the list of the knobs and buttons and everything here. Now we want to do this for knob 1. So you have knob 1 selected. And then here you have the target parameters. They're all empty right now because nothing's been assigned to them. So what we're going to do is we're going to assign the part A cutoff and part B cutoff over here. For that, it's very simply, again, just click part A cutoff. When you click part A cutoff, you can see that appearing here. All you need to do is, again, click and drag this hand onto here. So you have part A cutoff assigned as the target. Next, go to part B cutoff. Just click the automation lane so you get part B cutoff appearing here. Hold the hand again and drag them under the target. So now you have part A cutoff and part B cutoff, both the cutoffs assigned to knob 1. And what we also want to do, as I mentioned, is we want to invert the direction of part B cutoff. Now for part A cutoff, you see this graph, it's like going from minimum to maximum. This is a linear graph. We're just going to, for simplicity's sake right now, just going to keep it in a linear graph. Of course, you can always change this curve, but right now we're just going to do a linear graph. So this is going from minimum to maximum, all right? But for part B cutoff, we want to have this go from maximum to minimum. So all you do is just say invert X. So it goes, as you can see now, this is going from maximum to minimum. That's it. So we've done that. What we can now do is just close this channel editor. And now if you see, all right, sorry, we'll just keep the channel editor open so we can watch it here as well. We can close the wrench icon, keep the channel editor here. All right, and maybe just so that we can illustrate this, I'll open the hybrid instrument as well, side by side. And now if you look at this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my the knob that I've assigned to these parameters on my MIDI controller Impact LX25. I'm going to move them and watch what happens. There you go. You see what is happening? Did you see the automation lanes? So what's happening now is you can of course see the knob 1 moving when I rotate it from minimum to maximum. You will also see that the part A and part B cutoffs on the instrument. Now this is the part A cutoff. If you see, this is the cutoff, and that moves from minimum to maximum. And for part B, it's actually already on maximum because my knob on the MIDI controller is minimum, and I move it to the maximum. It actually moves in the inverted direction from maximum to minimum. So there you can see how that's been assigned as we wanted. Now, and you can also see that the automation lines on the automation lanes are also moving as we wish. You see the part A cutoff going from the bottom to the top, which is minimum to maximum. It's going from 0 to 100 on the values, and the part B cutoff moving in the opposite direction. Great. We've got this done. The next what we need to do is we need to do our automation. So I've looped this part. I mean, we're just going to do it before the end of the loop so that we just have a simple automation for these 4 bars. So for that, we need, if you look here, these are the modes for automation. I'm going to go for touch. Okay, so we got the touch mode automation activated for both these lanes. Okay, and now once you can click play, and then after clicking play, I'm going to be moving my knob to do the automation. So here goes. There you go. So that's kind of our automation curve. You can just see that the automation curve for part B is kind of a mirror image of the part A cutoff because we had assigned an inverted mode for the part B cutoff, and it's actually just done a mirror image of the automation. So now we're going to see how this works. We're going to change this back to read because we don't want to do any more writing of the automation. And and when we run the track, this is how it goes. You see how the automation is doing? Great. So thanks for watching, folks. That's the way you can do an automation of a couple of parameters using one knob in Studio One. A very simple example, because you could do a lot of complex stuff. For this video, I just wanted to keep a simple example. So hope you enjoyed the video. Do subscribe to the channel and like this video and put comments on what your experiences with this, and I will be making more videos on future on various stuff from Studio One. All right, thank you and good day to all.